Hello and welcome to the Seventh Rule. We have a very special guest from Deep Space Nine. He played Quark. He was also principal. I can't remember the principal's name. On Buffy. Snyder on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was also in Beauty and the Beast. We also have your stars, as usual, Aaron Eisenberg and Cirroc Lofton. My name is Ryan T. Husk. Let's get into it because we have so much to discuss. But first, a word.
We have a sponsor. So our sponsor, which is so wonderful, my buddy Matt runs a Trinity Comics convention services. And so here to be a little outdate on it, Trinity Comics Convention Services attends over 30 comic conventions a year and has private signings, some of the biggest celebrities and comic creators in the world. They offer COAs and certification through CGC and CBCS. Make sure to visit them online at www.trinity-comics.com. And do not forget the hyphen. Don't forget the hyphen.
Well done, Aaron.
No, I kind of aired at the beginning, but the rest of it was okay. Do we have to print that? Can we do another take?
We can post it on the website, too.
I got teeth in my mouth.
The COAs and CGCs and CBCS, that's when it gets a little bit difficult, right?
CBD oils, yeah.
CBD and CBS.
CBCS. And that makes it even harder because CBS does the Star Trek. The Star Trek. I love how Avery says the Star Trek.
Let's give Aaron a minute to warm his mouth up so he can get all those words out.
Yeah.
It's all right. We should get. We have a very short window here to get through the show.
Armin, thank you for being here, though. I want to be the first one to do it and say thank you for being on the show and giving us some of your time.
Thank you, Cirroc. It's a pleasure to be with both of you, and Ryan too.
Thank you. Wait a second.
But actually, Armin and Ryan have worked together as well.
Many times. Many times.
Yeah, and Armin, as I'm sure everybody's guessed, everybody that has guessed with an ED, not a T at the end, he is the consummate professional, and he leaves a wake of eyes like that people just saw Santa Claus. The only other person I've seen do that is our good buddy, Mr. Doug Jones, where anytime Armin or Doug show up on a set and there's smiles everywhere, they leave, and you just see these people looking like they just saw Santa. They're like, they just watch them go like with a smile, like, wow, that guy's so cool. So Armin most recently worked a couple months ago, and people were very impressed with obviously your demeanor, but especially your acting skills. He still got it at 45, ladies and gentlemen.
I did at 45. I'm not so sure anymore. Years ago, when I worked on Beauty and the Beast, I was fortunate to work with Ron Perlman.
Oh, wow.
And we did many episodes together, and Ron was probably one of those people as well, Ryan. And I asked him about that once, and he gave me an invaluable piece of advice. He said, when you're the lead on a show, it's like a party, and you are the host, and you are responsible for making sure everybody at the party has a good time.
Interesting.
I took that piece of advice, and I tried to follow it.
Speaking of which, you are moving your acting talents predominantly into theater. Mm-hmm. And I had to ask you off the air how to pronounce that, but it is the Antaeus Theater. It's in Glendale, California, and we would love to hear more about that because I have not gone to see it yet, and it's really only 20 minutes away from me, and I think Cirroc, Aaron, and I absolutely have to do a couple trips over there, a couple field trips.
Well, I hope you'll come and visit. We are located. We have a new theater, actually 2 theaters in Glendale. If people are familiar with Glendale, California, we're right across the street from the Americana Mall. We're lucky enough to be on Broadway, so our theater's on Broadway. The theater itself has been in existence for about 25 to 30 years. It hasn't always produced plays. What happened was an incredibly knowledgeable, gifted actor named Dakin Matthews decided to bring a group of people together who were working actors to do more theater because Los Angeles isn't well known for theater, and he wanted to change that. And he just put together this ensemble of great people. He has now stepped down from that position, and the current artistic director happens to be a lady named Kitty Swink, and she's helped by the co-artistic director, Bill Brocktrip, and they continue to follow in that direction. We have been producing plays for about, I would say, 10 years now. Our current production of Diana Dobson's has been reviewed incredibly well. We've had some really smash hits, some not so smash hits, but almost invariably, whether people come to see them or not, we always get rave reviews. We get the best actors in LA to come and work for us, and we're very appreciative of that. I have directed the Crucible there. I've performed in several plays there, and come January of 2020, I will be directing Measure for Measure there as well.
What's that one? I've never heard of that one.
Measure for Measure?
Yeah.
It's one of Shakespeare's plays. It's a dark comedy. It's written towards the end of his career. It's for the Me Too movement. There's a woman called Isabel, that's the character, who is being manipulated by powerful males, and she stands up to them and proves that that she's a heroine at the end of the play. It's not a comedy in the sense that it's like Comedy of Errors or Midsummer Night's Dream. It's a very serious comedy, and it will be up to the company and me as the director. I'm helped by Ann Noble, who will be the co-director, to make that as good a production as we possibly can. I know we'll have wonderful actors in it. It's whether or not the vision will be completed or not. It's a hard play to do, and it's tough enough not to crack. We will do our very best.
Now, on that note, is there a way that somebody, I mean, I know you've got the website up. Is there a way that people, outside of LA can support this attempt?
Sure. As Kitty will tell you, we can always use funds. So please visit our website. Thank you for saying so, Ryan.
Absolutely.
It's www.Antaeus, Antaeus,
Antaeus, you gotta.
Well, it's because I'm asking to pay us, is why.
That's right.
You said Antaeus, you gotta.
Antaeus and Tom, AEUS.org. That's our website, and Antaeus.org. And if you like what you see there and you want to make a contribution, I'm sure there's a button there that you can push, and we'll happily take your money.
We'll definitely put that up all over our social media and everything as well, so people don't have to remember any of that. We'll make it super easy so they can just click and then open their wallet, and that would be awesome.
We do good work. We have, besides myself, Linda Parks is a member of the company. Harry Groner is a member of the company. I'm trying to think of other Star Trek actors.
Oh, wow.
We have, just drawing a blank, but I'm sure there are others.
I keep offering my application, but I'm not getting accepted.
Yeah, try harder. Tony Amendola, who's from Stargate, is a member.
Wow.
Tessa Aubergenois, Renee's daughter, is a member. His son-in-law, Adrian, is a member. We have quite a few people that are either involved with Star Trek or one way or another, and certainly actors that you would recognize.
I'm looking at the website right now under artists, and it's got to be a couple hundred people.
Not a couple hundred. We have about 160. About 160. I used to be the gatekeeper, so I should know. I was the one that let people in, or at least I was the chair of the committee that did that. And twice a year, we would look at resumes and people who were asking to get in. We are sort of select because we want to keep the caliber of work really high.
What I'm also seeing is, and I'm assuming this is deliberate, but just as I'm scrolling through the pictures and names, it's such a wide variety of looks and types and ages and sizes, and I'm sure that's got to be a deliberate thing. It really looks great. It looks like you've got every type of person.
I have a question. Oh, go ahead.
Let me answer that question, Aaron. I'll take your question. But very quickly, Aaron, Brian, thank you. Diversity is very important to us. When we started, it was a very white company. For years, it got whiter and older, and we didn't see any diversity there at all. in the last 5 or 6 years, we've made a very big push to get diversity into the company. But again, we're looking at high caliber people that they can't just have a different skin color. They have to be a good actor as well.
So, as a member, how does that work? What are the benefits then becoming members of the theater company, and just two of them? And so, what is the process to become a member other than submitting a resume?
That's a very good question, Aaron. The process is difficult. That's a question we're asked all the time by people who want to get in, and none of us have a real answer. Usually what happens is people appear in our productions because we cast outside the company.
That's
about 160 people. And if we like your work while you're doing the production, somebody will probably put you up for admission. And then the membership committee, which I was the chair of, will decide whether it's somebody we want. Sometimes, just put it this way. If you're a wonderful actor and you happen to be 60 and you happen to be white, we don't want you. We got enough of that already. You can be Olivier, but we're not going to let you in. We need people that will fill in, other spaces.
What about 50? About 50. 5 feet tall. 50 Does that work?
5 feet tall. That's okay.
What about 22?
22 might be a problem, Ryan.
Wait, I got my resume here. I know I had it prepared.
But we need to see that you're capable to handle language.
Right.
One of the great things about Star Trek actors, we were all expected to handle language very well, and that's one of the things we look for in our theater as well. We used to think of ourselves as a classical theater company. We no longer think of ourselves that way. We think of ourselves as a language company, and we do plays that have exciting language in it, exciting characters. And if you can't do that, then we're not interested in having you. But if you can, we're very much interested in having you. And it's just a matter of how many positions, how many slots can we fill. After all, if you've got 50 people who are all in the same slot and one role comes up, you've got 50 people competing for that role. One person's going to get, or two people, because we often double cast, 2 people will get that position and the other 48 people are out of luck. So we don't want to do that to people. So we just close the door and say, we've got enough people that look like this who are very talented. We need to look for other types of people.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So what you're saying is Aron and I need to sit down and Cirroc needs to go knock on your door.
No, wait, I don't have to sit down. I'm a quite unique character.
That's
very
true.
unique. I mean,
now you can come and perform in our theater without being a theater member.
Oh, okay.
Right. So it's not like you guys can't come and audition. You can, and if you're the right person, you're what the director wants, then we'll take you on. But to become a company member, that might be a different story.
Sure, and for sure you're going to see us anyway in the audience. Now
and I don't know if that's 100% true. I think he's just saying we don't want to have 50 of the same.
That's
because
right.
then 50 are auditioning to get it, 48 just continue not to get this role.
Right.
They want a nice diversity so that, people can, I would assume, have more opportunities to get some of these roles rather than,
Exactly. And for the actors that are listening or the actors who are participating, we all know that you walk into a room and there are 25 people auditioning. Just sort of takes the heart out of you that you've got to compete with all these people. We want to do that to our company members. We want to say, okay, there are 5, 6, 7 of you. We'll pick 1 or 2 of the best. But we don't want 25, 30 company members all auditioning for the same role.
My brain just went to I'm sure this is done somewhere in a movie. If I thought there was, where you have that 5 or 6 company theater, members of a theater, and the one person just never years. I've auditioned 20 times, and I still have to build the sets. I want a speaking line. I want to act. And